well, because what we just read, Michael, Nadia, and the jingle. Great. And well, we're again lots of great readings today.
Yes.
Jeremiah 1, so many long names. Fantastic. Suddenly, he hasn't had many long names for a while, and suddenly he's got all these long names today, especially for me.
Yeah, but I think the important name here is those Rechabites, the house of the Rechabites, which Lord gives as an example to the people from the house of Judah who don't obey him.
Right.
So when he says, look at those Rechabites, and it seems that they are even tested because the Lord says to Jeremiah, go offer them some wine.
And they refuse to drink it. Yeah, they say, we will not.
Yeah, because their ancestor said that they shouldn't do it because, that's what they were told a long time ago, and they've been keeping that commandment not to drink wine.
And it's interesting because what I thought very interesting here is that it's persistently. And it says, I have myself spoken to you persistently, and you've not obeyed me. I have sent you all my servants, the prophets, sending them persistently, saying, turn now everyone from your evil. But you did not incline your ear to obey me. It's really interesting, this idea, this persistence of evil, doing wrong things. And he's like saying time and time again, I've sent you people, prophets, warnings, and you don't listen. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? It's fine that you can identify with that sometimes there are things you sort of persistently seem to get wrong, or it's sometimes very interesting, and you think it's like, I should know better.
That's exactly what I thought, that it is so human and so relatable, because sometimes you just keep making the same mistakes. So there's a great quote, there's a Mae West or someone like this said, madness is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get a different result. Which I always think is quite an interesting thought. But yeah, interesting. But here, it's interesting what God says about those Rechabites who obey him. So he says, they shall not lack a descendant to stand before me for all time, because they've been keeping their ancestors' commandments.
Right.
So that's how it ends.
Exactly, right. So they shall not lack descendants to stand before me. Yeah, it's interesting. And then the next one is very interesting.
Again, full of so many.
Yeah, it's a great letter, this.
Powerful messages. Every bit from James that we've been reading is like this, so packed with
interesting stuff. There was a comment I did have lined up that's completely vanished. I always loved the way. No. It was actually, I just love the way our telephones always seem to just have a life of their own. You put them down and then something else appears. But there's a great comment. Sharon sent me some pages from a commentary book, and it's quite interesting.
From James?
Yeah, from James. And the idea that there's a lot of this idea of wealth, that we can't take wealth with us, and that basically it's just like a mist, and it's going to basically vanish. And she told us that there's a famous film actually that was commented on in the Hugo family now. There's a famous film. Hang on, where is it? Of course, I can't find it. It's always very good watching someone look for things on their mobile phone. Friday the 4th of August, here we go. Finally. There's a film apparently which is quite interesting called it's a Frank Capra classic, saying you can't take it with you, which is interesting. And James Stewart plays a successful businessman, Mr. Kirby, who's told to stop trying to be so desperate about making money you can't take it with you, Mr. Kirby. But it's very interesting how apparently there was this disparity of rich and poor within the church itself, as I understand. James was quite upset. There was a lot of people in the church not sharing their wealth.
Yeah, because even a couple of days ago, it was also mentioned in one of the previous chapters of the letter, because it was James was reproaching people for welcoming the rich but not welcoming the poor in the same way, so that you should, and saying, don't judge and be so welcome everyone with the same
Yeah, exactly. Mentioned this a bit here.
Yeah.
This bit about your gold and silver rusted, but then the next one is the wages of the labourers who mowed your fields you kept back by fraud. It's interesting, cry out, and the cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. It's interesting, that I would come across that so often. It's like the wages of the labourers who mowed your fields you kept back.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how often you see that. It's like, well, these people did great work for you, pay them properly. It's like, don't mess around, just what problem do you have? Exactly, and I see it a lot, and it's like, the labourers, they don't make all that much money, but someone being by fraud and greed wants to profit. And that's
powerful phrase here as well. You have fattened your hearts on the day of slaughter. So when some horrible things are happening, some people just continue accumulating riches. Again, this is something we see sometimes.
It's true, you've lived on earth in luxury and in pleasure, you've fattened your hearts on the day of slaughter. That's interesting. And that seems to be quite relevant now as well, I think.
And the first bit is also very interesting. It's different, so it's not about riches, but it's about being too arrogant and thinking that you control everything, you know what the future will bring. But here it says you don't even know what tomorrow will bring. How can you be so sure about?
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like, what is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. It is interesting that. It is amazing. And I often wonder, we have all these houses and stuff that we buy and fix ourselves to, and it's like, why? It's like, you go to such a town and spend a year there. Maybe we need to be moving around more like the mist. But that's a really good point. It's lovely.
But I also like this that in this paragraph. So it's that's a really nice message, I think, because on the one hand it says so you should remember that you don't control your future and you shouldn't be too arrogant saying that you know for sure what you will be doing tomorrow or next year. But at the same time it says those who know the right thing to do and fail to do it commit sin. So at the same time we should still be responsible for our actions. So
it's very interesting.
Good combination of relying on God, but at the same time doing what we know we should do if we know.
It's really interesting. Those who know the right thing and fails to do it. Anyone who knows the right thing to do and fails to do it commits sin. I was really interested in that line. It'd be lovely to have someone like Mark to comment on that, because I was thinking also, hang on, does that excuse you if you're ignorant of, say, murder, that murder's bad? Does that mean, I'm sure, obviously that's obviously not right, but I was thinking, that's interesting. So if I don't know something's a sin, does that, does that excuse me somehow? I mean, I don't think it does, but
at the same time we need to be, we should be honest to ourselves, because sometimes we know what we need to do and we just deceive ourselves saying, oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true, we often deceive ourselves. A lot in this passage, isn't it? The more you look at it, the more you sort of get out of it.
Probably we need to finish because we've been
a long time.
It's been almost 9 minutes.
Wow, because it's well worth saying. Is there anything on our chat from any of our sometimes we get some great things. Fiore always saying something.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
Well, I can see that after chapters of giving out promises, God is again talking about punishment for people's disobedience, again comparing his people, this particular fact. Jeremiah. James talking about rich people and also to others about depending on their human powers, not acknowledging God's power. Very true. Strong point. The responsibility to me, a strong point for me is that the responsibility is even bigger to us when we actually know the right thing yet do not do it. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually, isn't it? When you know, that's a great point. Great, thanks, Fiona.
Thank you.
Excellent, we should go. I've got to go. I'm late for work. Okay.
Have a good Friday, everyone.
Yeah, and a great weekend. See you back here on Monday and hopefully over the weekend.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.